Hey everyone, welcome to our second video here at In Pajamas. Here I am in my cowboy posty pajamas because we love cowboy posty. I'm so excited that you're here. I have been humbled by everybody subscribing to the channel and following us on Instagram and TikTok. I don't know what I'm doing. I just know that I'm having a lot of fun making these videos for you guys. It's a new way of connecting with you and letting you into my own little world. My mission is to create a little safe space, a little safe corner to share journal entries, letters that I never sent. And I don't know, maybe at some point this will turn into a podcast. We'll see. We'll see. Depending on the feedback, please feel free to comment, share your ideas, be kind to each other. And oh yeah, this video is in English. The first one was in Spanish, subtitled in English. This one's in English with Spanish subtitles because that's the way we're gonna do it. And because I'm bilingual and I wanna keep it this way. It's about connecting. So without further ado, I'm going to, yes, read. I'm just not used to talking to camera all the time. I'm a little out of practice with that. So I'll be reading, and in the near future, I'll just be talking to camera, being my silly, messed up hair self. This one's a little fun. Okay, we'll see what you guys think. It goes like this. I think I was 4 when I discovered my mission in life. Yes. At 4 years old, I opened my mom's car door while she was driving at 45 miles per hour. When she nearly lost it and asked what the hell I was thinking, I said, I just wanted to know how it felt. This graphically describes my impulsive curiosity, which has been a driving force ever since, while trying not to die or kill anyone, of course. At 14, I was convinced I'd leave home and go back to finally live the Mexico City life I never had. At 17, I thought I'd be married by 21, be a mom by 23, and have 2 more before 30, possibly even adopt a 4th. It was also at 17 that I started flirting with the idea of an acting career after falling in love with New York. At 20, I left my sophomore year of college, landed in Miami, and booked my first role right before I turned 21. I was 23 when I booked my first lead, 25 when I booked the second lead, moved to Mexico City at 26, and booked a one-way flight to LA at 27. And so the story goes. What I'm trying to get at is now, at 34, I realized I don't have a timeline. I have a time scribble, a time doodle, a time Scroodle, if you will. It's rarely straight, and it's even less likely to be consistently headed up and to the right. If it had a beginning, it would start in the biggest city, Mexico City, only to jump to the tiniest of cities, McAllen, just 6 months later. It zigged and zagged for years, crossing borders. It curved with every lesson, flipped every time I fell in love, and crashed hard when we parted. It spiraled when I started college and soared when I left and actually chose my career. That thing grew fast when I least expected it. Ah, yes, expectations. This thing doesn't seem to care much about them. When I most expected to succeed or grow, it spiraled downward. And when I thought I was falling, it was actually propelling me upward. It nearly flatlined the first time I lost a grandparent. And with my last heartbreak, it felt like it just stopped altogether. But the unpredictable Scroodle only took a hard pause, like it was making a point to ensure I learned my lesson before taking me on a wave-filled ride that now seems to form full circles. So I don't have a timeline. I have a Scroodle. And here we are, pivoting, starting over yet again, taking massive turns that are ultimately bringing me back to myself. Anyway, here I am at 34, and I'm not afraid to admit growing up on the border and coming from a multicultural background gave me the most beautiful identity crisis. I've realized I can embrace all my flags instead of just picking one, and no one can take that away from me. I will forever speak in both languages, think in both languages, dream in both languages, love in both languages. I'll eat Mexican for breakfast, Lebanese for lunch, a burger for dinner, and salsa, belly dance, and or flamenco to burn it all off, or just when I need to feel more connected to myself. I am a proud mutt. I didn't graduate college, and it used to be one of my biggest insecurities until I realized I love being a student of life, even if that sounds really cliched. I'm single, and many times I feel like I was raised for a dating world that doesn't exist. I love the idea of being a strong, independent woman, and I always crave being courted and taken care of. I believe in interdependence and that the differences between men and women should be complementary, not competitive or divisive. I have yet to understand new dating norms, and I refuse to go back to a dating app. But I'm holding out hope, finding joy in the curiosity of what this world actually is and what it has to offer, and vice versa. A part of me will always love the people I've loved, and I'd be lying if I said I don't think about us from time to time. But it's become my greatest lesson and my best reminder to love myself better, a non-negotiable for the future. It may seem like I have it somewhat together, but the truth is, I don't know what I'm doing half the time. There will always be a devil's corner in my house, a random pile of clothing. And even if I carry a lint roller, you will always find a dog hair somewhere. Adulting makes my inner child a little resentful, and a part of me is starting to think we never actually figure it out. It's more about learning to ride the waves. In all honesty, life looks nothing like I thought it would by now. I don't have the partner, don't have the kids, don't own a home, haven't booked anything of significance in the general market. Hell, sometimes I don't even know if I want any of it anymore. I'm making peace with that, but it doesn't mean it hasn't come with incredible amounts of grief and messiness. And still, sometimes I wish it were different. I watch reality TV because it makes me cringe so hard I feel normal. I'm also the girl who cries after a golden buzzer, a raw dance performance, a soldier coming home, or an animal rescue video. I'm a silver linings type of gal, but some days the dark and twisties win, and it feels almost impossible to get out of bed. I used to think my biggest fear was dying alone, and now it's something very different. Being on my deathbed, looking back on my life, and feeling like I didn't make something of it. I refuse to live a life without purpose, and I am well on my way to redefining and rediscovering it, while keeping my curious essence and the need to connect alive. All that said, the idea of a timeline used to haunt me. But now, going back to my Scroodle, I've realized I'm holding the pen. Through faith and prayer, I'm co-creating the life I want. For the first time in a long time, I'm taking full ownership of it, even if it terrifies me at times. So when it feels overwhelming, I take a deep breath and a few steps back to look at the canvas. And damn, this Scroodle is kinda, sorta, really beautiful.